Two friends from Iowa finding out what's beyond living after death. C&R isn't just about the paranormal. It's about bringing the community together by sharing their experience, evidence, and the fun moments during a paranormal investigation, so that you, the community, can be a part of our journey. Welcome to C&R Paranormal Podcast.
That is right. Welcome back to the C&R Paranormal Podcast with Chris
And Ryne.
And Jody is leading the show tonight. She has some nice Valentine's Day specials happening. So Jody, want to take it away?
Good luck.
Absolutely.
Good luck.
So I dug into some Valentine's Day stuff, and I'm just going to say it's all started because first thing that came to mind was the St. Valentine's Day Massacre in 1929, which we will get into. But I did some research and stuff, and as it seems like with all or a lot of our celebrations in America, Valentine's Day did start out as a pagan holiday as well. So you're looking at, they were talking about the Valentine's Day beginnings involved pagan fertility rituals, which featured animal sacrifices, and apparently women being ripped by priests for fertility purposes.
Huh.
Interesting take. Not anything I would have known about. And it's based on what they call Lupercalia, which is basically a pastoral festival of ancient Rome, which was observed annually on February 15th, and it was used to purify the city, promote health, and again, fertility. So that's the basic beginning of Valentine's Day as we know it. What happened from there was it was later Christianized by Pope Gelasius I to replace the paganism. And that led to, and it's linked to the martyrdom of St. Valentine himself, who was a priest, and he was executed by Emperor Claudius II in ancient Rome. So this was all before we became to know Valentine's Day as its beautiful romantic holiday that it is, if you celebrate. I celebrate with my kids, so that's my Valentine's. All right. So pertaining to that, I got into some things that I want to, is looking for Valentine's Day haunting stuff. It was party people. So I was looking up hauntings for that centered around Valentine's Day. So of course, the first things I come upon are going to be your normal star-crossed lovers, all that kind of stuff. And I looked up, there's 3 of them I found. That sounded really interesting. In fact, places that I would even not, after finding them, would love to go visit. So the first one I came across, excuse me if I keep looking away, I do have my notes here. So first one I came across was it's called Emily's Bridge in Stowe, Vermont. It's a 50-foot covered bridge that was built in 1844. And any of the stories concerning Emily's Bridge didn't start springing up until the late 60s, early 70s. Emily was set to get eloped on Valentine's Day. So as you can imagine or guess, without me even saying anything, she was jilted, left at the altar. He never showed up, left her.
Oh, wow. Stranded.
So the story goes that she wound up hanging herself from the bridge rafters. She was so depressed and despondent. So then from there, from the stories, you then break out into the reports of what people see here, sort of, the hauntings of the bridge. Mm-hmm. And so you get reports of strange lights, scratches on the cars. People have spoke of apparitions and phantom footsteps. So there's a little lovely romantic holiday story for you.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. So that's the first one I came upon. That one, I'm just thinking, I love the idea that you don't see many of the covered bridges anymore. So that would be cool to see. Mm-hmm. Second one is Castillo de San Marcos, and that is in St. Augustine, Florida. This is a 1784 tale of a lover's triangle. So this included Colonel Garcia Marti, his lovely wife Dolores, and a Spanish officer. So you've got a love triangle going here, which of course ended in monster tragedy, a big confrontation and murder, obviously. The coolest thing about this story is that this place where it happened is the oldest masonry fort in the U.S. and the only standing military construction of its kind. So that alone would be pretty cool to see. But they didn't say much about the hauntings of that, other than there are purported hauntings. Of course, you're talking about a 1784 military foundation that had prisoners. You know, you can imagine, I'm sure, executions among this love triangle. So you're probably talking apparitions and that kind of thing, like you would have found any old military installation. And then the next one I came across was Lover's Leap in Cameron Park, and that's in Waco, Texas. So you're talking about this huge limestone cliff. They're talking, it was a 1912-ish legend of a Native American princess and her Apache lover who leaped to their deaths instead of being separated.
Ooh.
They're tragic. They didn't want to be separated from each other, so they died together kind of scenario. And the only reports you really get from there are of ghostly figures dancing. So not much other than that, they say. But also of note in Cameron Park, I came across, I know this kind of veers off a little bit, but Cameron Park sounds really interesting. They've also got what they call Jacob's Ladder. It's, I think the earliest reports of Jacob's Ladder were in 1910, were recorded in 1910. It's 88 steps. And there's apparently what they call a grabby ghost that haunts these stairs. Grabs people, has been known to try to throw people down the stairs. So another interesting point. And they also have a framework that they said that the building of this building was burnt down in like 1961, which is actually documented. Like 1961, this building burned down, but they call it the Witch's Castle. So they're talking about how in like the early 1900s, there used to be a witch that kind of lived in this area. And so since she was known to be doing witchcraft, of course, an angry mob burned her down and her house down. But of course, that's two totally different time frames. So the interesting part about these Valentine's Day stories, these three, is to keep in mind, I went through all of these. All three of them, as far as the lovers go, was either debunked, like legitimately debunked. The story does not exist. It's just a story. Or there's just no correlation to any of these characters any of these things ever really happening.
Like an old wise tale.
Yeah, like, you know, people have been spreading the story. Somebody started it, and of course it spreads. Other people talk about it. Okay, so what I want you to remember is that, okay, these lover stories have been debunked. They're not true stories. Yet, people are seeing apparitions, you know, strange lights, noises, all that kind of thing. So something is going on. So what is it? So keep that in mind. Just keep that little piece in mind. I will bring it around to that. But when I thought about doing a Valentine's Day special, the first thing that came to my mind was the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, because that's such a huge one. I do remember watching ages and ages ago. I can't even tell you how long ago this was. And I think we talked, Ryan, you said maybe it was Ghost Adventures that did it. 100% sure. But I do remember a team investigating the wall that is left over from the massacre and some of the things that they caught. But when I dug in, the haunting for the St. Valentine's Day Massacre is much bigger than I thought it was, much bigger than I even assumed. So just a little background for anybody who may not know who's watching what the St. Valentine's Day Massacre was. The whole thing started in 1924. It was like in Chicago. It was like a North Side versus South Side prohibition. You know, which gangs got, you know, going to bring in the money and, your gang wars kind of thing. And it all started in 1924, which brings us around to 1921. You've got Bugs Moran and you've got Al Capone. Those are your two main figures in the story. Al Capone wants to take out Bugs Moran. That's his goal. That's his ultimate goal here. So in 1929 of February 14th, you've got Bugs Moran's gang who's expecting this big delivery of hijacked Canadian whiskey. So they are basically told to meet at this garage to pick up this this delivery. But they were ambushed by Al Capone's men while they were there, and they were opposing as police officers. So, at first I'm sure they think, crap, we're just busted kind of thing. And the whole setup had been Al Capone who did this to, of course, take out Bugs Moran. That was his main goal. Taking out his men is just, icing on the cake, but his goal is to take out Bugs Moran. Funny enough, Bugs Moran was running late that day. So when he pulls up on the scene, he sees a police car, backs out with like two other guys he was with, and sits at a coffee shop waiting to see what's going to go down. So there we go, St. Valentine's Day Massacre. I knew there was a movie. So they all decide to wait it out and see what happens. But in the end, a total of 7 men were gunned down in front of this wall in this garage. All 7 of them, of course, perished. And the funny thing is the crime was never, ever prosecuted at all. Mm-hmm. And one of the main reasons was because Al Capone himself was actually, where was it? It was in Florida at that time. So they couldn't do, he had a good alibi. So it was never, ever prosecuted. But go ahead.
Me and Chris, was it our first time in Vegas or second time? Or we went both times.
The Mob Museum?
We went and saw the wall. It was pretty neat.
I'd like to go see it now. I'm digging into this. Is really, you find out so much more. But that was the basis of the crime. I'm sure you could dig in a lot more and find out, more between Bugs Moran and Al Capone and all that stuff. But that was the basis of the story. In 1960, the garage was actually demolished. And this is where it gets interesting because half this stuff I didn't even know. When the wall itself was torn down, you have about 300 bricks that were stored away. They didn't immediately go to the museum. They were stored away. It doesn't really say where, but they were stored away. Some of the bricks were actually sold off at $1,000 a piece to make a profit of some kind. I'm not sure for who, but to make a profit, which, according to the stories I've read, leave about 100 bricks unaccounted for. So it's reported now, and when I say the hauntings break out into so many different pieces that I didn't even know at that point when I was reading. So one of the first parts is those who bought bricks for $1,000. It doesn't really say how many of those, but a good portion of them have reported things like illnesses, really bad accidents, just different types of hauntings and things that they're associating with the fact that they brought these bricks. Which is why I still hold to this day, no matter where I go, if we're doing an investigation, do not take anything from those locations, even a rock. Like, I am not even picking up a rock and taking it home because I totally believe that you're asking for something. My personal belief, but I've taught my kids, don't take anything. How many times have you read stories of people who go these places and take a rock or even just pebble or something home with them, that all of a sudden all these bad things are going wrong? And so they send a nicely worded letter back with the piece to wherever it came from to let them know it's back, it's yours, I'm done, kind of thing.
Keep it. I don't want it.
I don't want it. I don't need anything invited in. I'm good. So you got that. That's one facet of the haunting when it comes to the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. So then you've got the wall itself, which was rebuilt at the Mob Museum in Las Vegas. And when I read it said they must have numbered the bricks that they saved and probably had some kind of setup that they saved so that if they did want to reconstruct the wall, it would be reconstructed properly with what they had. So then you've got so the wall's rebuilt. And like I said, I seen the one investigation where they caught some stuff, and you get all kinds of reports of course, and again, it's at the Mob Museum in Las Vegas for anybody who'd like to go see this. Witnesses telling of cold spots, of course, ghostly encounters, gunshots, they've heard men moaning and then like falling to the ground kind of sounds, a sense of dread when they're near the wall. And it's actually considered one of the most haunted artifacts in the United States.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's another facet of that. And I think I'm going too fast here, guys. I'm trying to fill it here.
No, you're good.
Then there is actually another facet from there. So when they tore down the building, it left an empty field, which is now connected to a nursing home of some kind. So it's a nursing home, like not on the field itself, but the field has become a part of this nursing home. Hauntings there as well. So you're talking, people are talking about strange lights, mists that shouldn't be there, coming off the field, disembodied voices, which include like faint screaming. Of course, again, gunshots. And it said that some of those with a real acute sensitivity to like the paranormal side get this impending sense of dread or like absolutely primal fear, which I'm sure is what the guys felt, before they're being gunned down. I mean, this is what you're facing.
Residual spirits.
Yeah. So it sounds like a lot of residual kind of sounds and haunts from them. But in all three, well, except for I guess if you paid for a brick, which again, just don't do it. Don't take things from places. So I know this sounds weird, but when I said at the beginning, think about these three, you hear these lovers triangle stories or lovers leaping to their deaths because they don't want to be separated. All of those were debunked. Those love stories were debunked, or, these characters, there's no connotation of these characters ever living or being around kind of thing. So it brings it back to what are people saying? With the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, we know.
Mm-hmm.
We know where these residual haunts are coming from. We know what's going on. There's plenty of documentation for this. So again, like come back to what we're seeing. So my question then kind of comes back around to, in the paranormal field, what do people think of tulpa? TULP, which is from Tibetan mysticism. It is the thought, or they call it tulpa or thought form. So it's a haunting or an entity, into like an intense mental focus that manifests because people believe in it or spread the story. So that's part of my my love for supernatural. Show some supernatural too, but and it only came into my head because I'm like, okay, you're talking about these love stories, and and this Valentine's Day thing fell in was all these love stories of people, fated lovers, ill-fated lovers, Romeo and Juliet kind of stuff. And then when I read they were all debunked, I'm like, well, what the hey? I'm like, what? I mean, you don't want people to die like that, but I'm like, well, okay, so if this didn't happen, then what are people seeing? What are they seeing? So I guess that's why I wrapped it around into the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, where we know what happened. Mm-hmm. We have documentation. So those haunts make sense. So are these things tulpa connected, or is tulpa actually a thing?
Huh.
So I guess my thing would be then, what are people's thoughts on that? Don't leave me hanging, guys. You got to have some ideas.
I'll let you go first, Chris.
Like, if enough people truly believe a story, do you think they can create a haunting?
I think that story gives them the energy to make people... Hold on.
Dogs agree.
Sorry. I think it'll give them, to have them think that it could be, true.
I mean, I suppose there's possibly other things that have happened in these places that Well, with the fort, I mean, of course, it's military. People actually died there, I'm sure. And, things happened. It's military, it's war, that kind of thing. So that one makes a little bit more sense where they can catch the different hauntings. But like the Lover's Leap, I mean, what ghostly figures are you seeing dancing up there? Or even, with Emily's Bridge, they're saying she hung herself. Well, this isn't a true story. So, I just thought it was an interesting take on some of these stories. Ryan, any ideas?
Sorry, the dogs were going.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could have created a haunting and people seeing all that stuff. But crap, I lost my train of thought. I had it when
Yeah, when the dogs barked.
Yeah. I believe that it could possibly have been created of a haunting just by those stories of how long those stories have been going on and on and on, and then people just start seeing them, imagining or seeing them.
Like mass hysteria.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was interesting. I mean, I shouldn't say I was bummed that they weren't true stories, but you're looking for that connection to why it's being haunted. And then like, okay, there it is. But then, guess what? It's not true. So
I mean,
where do these things come from?
One way to find out.
I mean, there is. There's one. I mean, go check it out for yourself. Absolutely. I mean, you have things like even Crybaby's Bridge. I mean, how many towns across the United States have that same story for a bridge somewhere in their state where a bus got hit by a train or whatever it was? There was a bus full of children and something tragic happened.
I just learned that. I mean, I didn't learn Crybaby Bridge. I knew what it was, but I just learned that it's multiple. It's the same story in multiple states.
Yeah, it's only 12 states.
Is it only 12 states?
No, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It seems like when you get into that subject of Crybaby's Bridge, it's the same thing. It's like so many places have this. I mean, and they may not call it Crybaby's Bridge. It may be something else that they call it, but it's the same basic story. When you go now, we did try the one. I can't remember where it's at in this area, but we did go out to the one that's in this area. We did the whole put baby powder on the back of the car. Turn the car off and sit and see what happens. I can tell you that the car did roll. It just started. We sat there for a few minutes and then it started rolling. And then when we got out on the other side, you could see what I'm going to say it looked like, because I am not calling this paranormal because I don't even know, but you could see what looked like somebody had their hands on the back of the trunk and were pushing it. Like fingerprints, like just the kind of like the tips of your fingers kind of thing. Again, give or take, who knows? But I mean, it's a gravity thing too. I do know that much. It is a gravity thing. It's not necessarily somebody pushing. But again, do enough people believe these stories that some of these other things are happening? Other, like ghostly cries in the woods, or because this one that's in our area is like out in the middle of nowhere. Like deep dark woods kind of stuff, and like there's nothing out there. So but and then you also have the story like An American Haunting, and I'm gonna blank on the names right now, but the young girl who the poltergeist was in their house, a Bell Witch, the Bell Witch story. How there was a poltergeist in the house and it wound up, they say it was attacking her all the time, and it stemmed from the fact that she was SA'd by her father. That basically it was a young girl going through the turmoil of what she was going, and because of her turmoil, that manifested the poltergeist kind of idea. I don't know. Yeah, which is if you read into it, they talk about. I've seen some of that mentioned, which is interesting. So the poltergeist itself was not some evil freestanding from some evil neighbor he had a argument with over land. She, because of the turmoil she was going through, manifested that intense focus, I guess, again. So
if there's anybody in the comments, what is your guys' thoughts on possible created hauntings of,
There's about a dozen of those crybaby bridges around.
Is there about a dozen?
About a dozen, I said, yeah. The official.
Like in the United States itself?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I wasn't sure how many, but I know I heard several areas with that same kind of. Yay, Cheryl. So what's your thoughts, Cheryl? Do you hold on to that too, that thought, that Topo thing? I mean, that would be an interesting. I'll have to go back and see that if I can, because that would be an interesting. Because that is definitely some intense, like, focused thinking if people are like themselves bringing these things into being. Because then again, like I said, it could be the whole Topo thing. There may have been other things that happened there that people just do not look up the Philip experiment. Just gonna go make us research some more.
Philip experiment.
Yeah. Hang on. I shall Google the Philip experiment.
I'm doing the same thing.
I heard about it before. I just can't remember what it was.
I have not.
I've heard the name too. It says.
Oh, we might not have time for this, y'all. That's a whole movie.
That's a whole movie. Oh, is it a movie to watch?
That's a whole movie.
Okay. Well, quickly, like an overview, just says it was a 1972 parapsychology experiment conducted in Toronto, Ontario, to determine whether subjects can communicate with fictionalized ghosts through expectations of human will. Definitely worth a watch.
I have to look that up.
Yeah.
So we have
I'm
homework.
gonna have to see if I can get a hold of that to watch it. Absolutely.
We got so much homework.
Well, that's a cool thing about when you get into this kind of stuff, these theories, like I said, this turns back around to I'm like, oh yeah, I remember the Supernatural episode about that because I'm a Supernatural fan. But then when you start digging on your own and looking, it's like, wow, okay. So it was fun in an episode of Supernatural, but now we're really getting into like the real aspect of it with what we do. Like, okay. So this one we know because we have all the documentation. We know for real that this thing actually happened, but these people are actually seeing and hearing things here. All these stories were debunked. Why?
Oh, that's cool.
Singapore theory. Yep. Thanks for all the homework, Cheryl. I appreciate it.
To be honest with you,
Singapore theory.
I got to catch up on their episodes.
On what episodes? The Supernatural?
No, their episodes.
Oh yeah, I need to get in to start watching some of those too. Singapore theory. Appreciate it.
They got a lot of episodes.
On what?
Oh, I was saying my group has a lot of episodes.
Group, yeah. Definitely need to look into that. I never used to do research as much, but now that I do podcasts here and I start researching, I fall down rabbit holes.
Especially at the last minute.
Especially when it's the last minute. Thanks.
Yeah, that's all right.
So, I mean, I probably could have pulled out more, but in my time frame, this is what I pulled out. But kind of went in a circle there, and it was really interesting too. Like I said, when they said, but the story has been debunked. I'm like, oh, well, damn it. Darn it.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Slip of the tongue. So many rabbit holes. Too many. And now I'll probably do this filament experiment and the Singapore theory and probably fall down a monster one.
We need a bleep button.
Huh? I know. We need a.
That'd be fun.
But when you're live, it's kind of hard to bleep. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
I hope so. If I'm not and I offended anybody, I apologize. But that's what I had. I thought you guys would discuss the topo thing a little bit more, but that was some of the stuff I came up with. Looking down that rabbit hole. I could have gone international too, but I think that would have taken a lot more time. But some of these places I would like. I mean, after reading it, St. Augustine, especially with the masonry fort, because St. Augustine also has the lighthouse. So definitely a trip I would like to.
That'd be cool to investigate a lighthouse.
Yeah, I would like to investigate the St. Augustine lighthouse. And lucky for me, I have an aunt in Florida who keeps telling me to come down and visit, but she's 3 hours from St. Augustine, I believe. But still, worth a trip.
That ain't bad.
No. Well, guys, I thought that would fill much more time.
Oh, no, you're good.
I expected you guys to interject much more than you did, to be honest. See, Cheryl's been to St. Augustine. I'm jealous.
Probably warmer than here.
Oh, I'm going to be so sure. I don't know. The South seems to be getting hit harder than we are.
Let's see what's the temperature. $57.
Okay, well, it's going to get in the 50s Monday, so we're getting there.
Still warm.
Better than here. We're getting there.
We should dump them on more snow.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I don't see anything else popping up. That's or we could, there's even discussion of apparently Penhurst Asylum has a haunted attraction for Valentine's Day.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Factory of Fear in Moline's having one.
Do they do one too? We went a couple years ago, 3 or 4 years ago for Halloween. And I've never been back, but I know they do different ones. We wish we should go more often.
Team outing next.
Yep, because we still got to drag this one to a haunted house.
It's only 3 blocks from your house.
Oh, they have a Mother's Day one also. She said, "Wow,
Happy Mother's Day! Let's scare your mother."
Nope. I must honestly say, for Mother's Day this year, I will be going to see a Youngblood concert. So,
Happy Mother's Day, but we'll give you a heart attack. There you go.
you know.
You won't see me going though.
Yeah, we will. Eventually, we will.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. Okay, guys. Well, I screwed up, so
you're good. You're good. So, Jody.
Yes.
They have one for Easter too.
Yes, they have one for Easter too.
Don't take kids there.
I'm sure they have one for
every holiday.
Christmas.
Because see, Cheryl says they have them for everything, so probably every holiday. Do you have a question? You said my name. Or did you lose your train of thought?
No. I know we haven't had you on for a bit, but
Saxon says hi, everybody.
Oh, hi. I know it's kind of late for it, but what has been your thoughts of this of last year, of your recap.
My recap of last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
Of your,
it was. I mean, it was exciting for me because this is like like I said, a bucket list for me item that I get to cross off doing this stuff now. Hey, Grant, love it. I mean, honestly, the only place that we were at that I got to enjoy with you guys, even when I was just hanging out as a guest,
mm-hmm.
the only place we really that I personally felt that we really it was the Saint not the Saint I was saying wrong place. The
St.
why am I
Valentine's.
blanking? You know where I'm going with the dolls. Why am I blanking? Lost Souls Museum, is that what it was?
Oh, when
Okay.
we went to
That was
Lost
the
Souls.
only one that I mean it was kind of creepy, but I think for me it was because inherently most of us are creeped out by a lot of dolls hanging out together. I think that's one of the things you're trained to be creeped out by. Just like I think most people are creeped out by basements. Thanks, Grant. I don't feel like him today, but I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
You're
I am
doing good.
there down here in the basement, by the way.
Are you? Yeah. Well, I mean, my own basement is one thing because you get used to that, I think. But just like when you're in a haunted place and errantly you're in the basement, it's kind of like your brain is wired a certain way.
I'm in the
Although I
basement.
caught a couple interesting pictures at Lost Souls, I don't feel like we had a whole lot. I mean, personally, it just wasn't there. I mean, you compare that to Granger, which again, I don't think we had a ton, but what we got was so interesting. It just like it grabbed hold of your attention.
Mhm.
And of course, Waverly. Oh my God. Like I said, she's my girl. I'd go back 100 times a year and still be. She has never disappointed, ever. Like that last time we went, I would, if I had money, I would have flipped that woman all my money and said, "Give us 2 more hours." I just please, this is really starting to act up.
It
And
did to the end. It was really
yeah, we
good.
got to the end, and it was like this last show of what I got. This is what I have for you. What do you think? And it was just so fascinating and so on point, and just like one thing after another. It's like, oh my God, give me 2 more hours. This thing is just starting to act up and show us what it can do. Maybe it was better for us that it was over, because who knows what else it could have done. But and Roadhouse, I'm starting to fall in love with the Roadhouse too, because Roadhouse has never disappointed either. And the times I've been there with you guys, never has just. And even like I said, Saxon went with us. The kids went with us last time. Saxon is my hardest skeptic, and even she couldn't deny. She's the one to point out. You guys hear the footsteps, and she goes, and she even said, of all the places we've been, that is the one place that I think has got her really, despite Waverly for some reason, Roadhouse is the one turning her gears more.
Is she the one?
Oh,
Is she the one that got sick?
no, Jordan got sick. Jordan got sick. My oldest got sick. Jordan is very much in my wheelhouse of things. Saxon is kind of more like on the opposite end of that. And then you've got Jonathan, who's like right kind of, I think, in the middle, leans more towards me and Jordan. But no, Saxon is more of the skeptic. And I think the Roadhouse is the first place that's really kind of got her gears turning. So I'd like to get her back to the Roadhouse. And I actually, all the kids, like, of course, Cheryl, all the kids want to come over to the
Quarters one.
like, yes, thank you, Quarters one, and visit that. They'd really like to do that. So I'm gonna have to try to get them together sometime when they have an event and get over there. And
Because I was
minus the bats, please, Cheryl, at the Roadhouse would be nice. I prefer them not to be there.
and I think me and Chris were the only ones that didn't get hit with bats. Knock on wood.
Yeah. No, I will have to get a hold of you, Cheryl, and see what your schedule is like and see what I can get them, because it's harder because two of my kids don't live in town, but they're not that far away. It's a matter of getting our schedules together. But no, last year was amazing for me. I might know someone. Last year was amazing for me because it was a bucket list. Because to me, last year was for the first time. I mean, I've done some great things, but it was kind of like me stepping into who I am, the things I've always wanted to do, instead of, I've raised 3 kids on my own, so this is a whole kind of another phase in my life. So I'm even looking more forward to this year and doing more stuff with our investigations and things and going through all of that. So I'm not getting any younger, so bring it on.
Oh no, you're good.
Bring it on. Oh yeah, Cheyenne just walked past the bats.
Like,
Let's talk about the Roadhouse. We have April 25th. It's our kids' investigation. And then we have another investigation that we're hosting. First time you're hearing about this. September 12th will be 18 plus, the public investigation.
So just to clarify, is this first one younger kids then? Or okay, so that's younger kids. September will be 18 plus. Okay.
Mhm.
There's somebody who is interested and I'd like to sponsor her to come with us at one of those. So I will remind her it's in September then. Awesome.
And of course, we have the expo, October 3rd.
Looking forward to that again.
Ryne and I are actually elite sponsors this year. So we have Jody and Cheyenne joining us also.
Cheyenne and I will be bringing the party, guys. Come by and see us October 3rd.
it's gonna be fun. I can't wait for all that we have going on.
And then Ryne and I going the next weekend, the 14th.
Yeah, next weekend's the 14th.
So we are actually going back to the Granger house Saturday the 14th. Unfortunately, Jody cannot join. And so we're going to be doing maybe TikTok Live or Facebook Live, depending on how the night goes.
Tell Dora I said hello.
Make sure.
We'll tell her you've been cussing like a sailor. No,
yeah, I know. Tell her I apologize, but yes, I have.
I'm joking.
I have my moments.
I'm joking. We wouldn't do that. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Sorry, Cheryl. My apologies. I think it happens at work under my breath more than any other time. So.
Oh, we know.
Oh, you know.
No fedora.
No fedora. She does not like that.
Hey, at least this place has heat, though.
At least what?
I believe it has heat, doesn't it? Granger? Yeah.
That's the reason why we're going to go in February.
Is it stick the fork in the lock?
Probably the same, yeah.
Yeah. When I stuck when we stuck
that wasn't how we were supposed to lock ourselves in, was stick the fork in the lock.
I think that was just a funny thing.
Well,
I have no clue.
It was sitting in the lock, so there you go.
What? I don't even know where that fork is.
See, Shayna is a kindred spirit. Did Shayna apologize, though, when she cursed? Fork in the lock. See? Fork in the lock.
Oh. It's been a while since we were there.
It has been. I'm bummed I'm going to miss it because I really would like to go back after some of the things we caught. But alas, work does not allow for that. Well, at an odd time for me.
And you're going to
take your kids somewhere next month?
Next month, the kids had mentioned that we were only at Edinburgh the first time I went was for one night only. And the kids have mentioned, off and on how fun it would be to do a weekend. So as part of the Christmas present, we have booked out the first weekend in March, and the kids and I will be investigating Edinburgh that weekend. And we'll take some of the things we have learned, thus having, heard it from other people that have been there, on how we'll do our investigation. So see how that turns out.
And
the goal is to get in that basement and stay in that basement at night for a while. I had Saxon didn't bother her, but she wasn't going to do it by herself. The rest of us bailed. We said, absolutely not. So that's our goal.
They say even during the day, it's pretty active too.
Well, my understanding is that other people I've talked to who have seen it, it's during the day, you want to spend your time up on the upper floors kind of thing. And the nighttime is when you get into that basement and get your stuff. But I'm sure it could be active the entire time too. But
that basement, when we were first set up the camera, and that we were in the kitchen area, and then that door, I just happened to look back, and there was someone that just walked right past us.
yeah,
Was that
You
the
really
like I
seen
said,
it.
we only spent one night there. A lot of little noises, but we were there at a time when there were lots of like ladybugs and stuff. So it could have very well been a crossover. You're hearing things. And there were times where we were legitimately hearing things that, okay, that's not a bug. But for the most part, we thought, bugs hitting stuff kind of idea. Because there was a lot of that going on. We're just, we're going to brave like I said, the basement weirded the three of us out. Saxon was fine with it. But that's the overcoming thing going back there, is getting in that basement at night and not spending like 2 minutes and saying, yep, I'm done. I don't like the feeling. Just go with it and stick it out and see what happens.
what was I going to say? I lost my.
And didn't you guys catch the piano going off when you guys were there at one time? The first time, maybe?
Or
was it someplace else you guys were at that you caught a piano?
That was.
Would you say
someplace else?
It was Enneberg, I believe.
I think so too, because it was like one of the first time you guys did a live podcast, I believe. And I remember trying to watch it, but I can't remember exactly where at. I think it was Edinburgh that you guys were at.
I know the first time we didn't have audio in our cameras at the time, so we didn't. We did hear it with our own ears, but
when you played back, you caught it. Yeah, see, Cheyenne said was Edinburgh. I remember seeing you guys doing your live thing, and you had said something about the piano, so. But that might have been an after thing that you said something.
Yeah, and we'll definitely let you borrow some equipment.
That'd be great. Like I said, if just a couple REM pods or something. We're starting to slowly but surely get some of our own stuff. So we're working our way there. It's not cheap. This little hobby, not a cheap hobby. Fun and exciting, but not cheap.
Hey, Chris, should we let her borrow the dead bell?
Jesus, thumbs up. We'll take the dead bell. I got a music box for Christmas, so we'll have that as well. So, yeah, it is an expensive hobby. I wouldn't change it for anything, but it is expensive. So,
yeah, we still need a tripwire.
That would be cool. I like the idea of the tripwire too.
When we were at the, not when you were, I think we were when we were there a couple times earlier, at the Roadhouse. We set the bell up by the.
Oh, that's right. You showed me the video up by the front doors
of the door, and
or the entry door, I guess I should say.
The old entry door, and it was dinging nonstop. And I mean, even when we would set it somewhere different, it was off. It didn't ding. But when we set it in that same exact spot, we checked it, tried to debunk it, and couldn't. And it was, it just kept dinging. Yeah. And Lisa was saying that's like, she said the front entry, the front desk or whatever. So that was pretty cool.
I kind of put myself in a bad spot so Saxon keeps walking through.
Yeah, and then, but yeah, it was pretty neat.
Yeah. Yeah, Cheryl said Ryan's fixing theirs again, their tripwire. I think that was Ryan that was saying that's kind of a pain in the butt.
Oh, the tripwire?
Yeah, the tripwire.
We need an SLS camera too.
That would be cool. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I am not a Ghost Adventures fan, but when I need mind-numbing TV, I will watch episodes. And some of these, I tell you what, some of these instruments they're coming out with later episodes, and these newer episodes, I'm like blown away. Like some of the equipment they have, I'm like, let me have that. Just let me borrow that, please. It's so, the technology is so much more advanced than like the things that we have now. I mean, it's just like crazy.
I know. I think I've seen one time they had one of the people they had is like an SLS, but it's like if they walked in front of it or something, it captured their face.
Yeah, almost like a 3D imaging of their face kind of idea. Yeah. I'm with you, Cheryl. I like the old school stuff too. I really think that's, I don't know, for some reason, I think when you're dealing with ghosts, they're going to react to that more just because it's more familiar to them than some of this newfangled stuff. But I just think some of the newfangled stuff is so cool. Like with the 3D rendering of whatever you're looking at popping up was kind of interesting. But yeah, I am not technologically savvy. So old school works best for me, period. The other stuff is cool, but old school works best for me, period.
So, I think we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you so much, Jody, for coming on.
Yeah, sorry it wasn't longer. I didn't pull out longer. I thought I had enough, but I will try better next time. You guys put me in charge.
No, you're fine.
Thank you, Cheryl. Yes, agreed.
What'd you say, Chris?
Never too old.
Oh no. But yeah, as Chris said, April 25th, Kids Night at the Roadhouse. It's on Extreme Ticketing. April 25th. We'll have more information on our September 12th, right?
Yes.
September 12th. We'll have more information once we get that. And then the Rock Island Roadhouse Esoteric Expo 2026. It's going to be fun. As for that, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. You guys have a good one. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
We believe that the journey doesn't just stop. It only begins. And that's with you, the community, as we take you along on our journey through the unknown. Without you, there wouldn't be us. So as for that, thank you so much for watching and listening, and stay tuned for more